is part 19 of the sensational WhatsApp chats. These reveal how Arnab bragged about his influence with ministers, PMO and the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Not only was former BARC CEO very impressed with Goswami's influence, he also is going on to seek further information on the internal affairs of the government. Arnab assuring Dasgupta that there was nothing out of order in government bureaucracy, and industry experts now are shocked by the nexus and the amount of information shared between the two. Let's go over to Swati, who has the chats with her. Over to you.
Right, let's go through these conversations. These exchanges happened on the 1st of September 2017. Mr. Dasgupta tells Mr. Goswami, we missed each other. And then he says, had to give you a news. So he was about to share some information, says, I'm impressed with your influence. So he's impressed with Arnab Goswami's influence. Arnab Goswami says, Ki re. To which Mr. Partha Dasgupta says, calling you. So then he says, I will call you and share the news with you. But he's clearly impressed with Arnab Goswami's influence. Arnab Goswami responds to what Partha Dasgupta is telling him, says, big win in court. No lawyer seniority agreed to appear against Republic TV. So he's saying no senior lawyer appeared against us. Partha Dasgupta then wants to know any big changes tomorrow, any change that is going to take place. MIB not changing now. So he's trying to seek some information on the Ministry of Information and Broadcast. Arnab Goswami confirms no chance. So he here appears, sounds like an insider, an unofficial government spokesperson, or at least he claims to be. He goes on to say, hearing Raisina Hill may not change. So Arnab Goswami is then sharing some more information, confidential information, says the focus is on youngsters. He somehow had access to this information that he was sharing with Partha Dasgupta, who was inquiring about whether there are going to be any changes or not. Arnab Goswami confirms no change going to take place. Partha Dasgupta responds, okay. In this conversation, clearly Arnab Goswami is bragging about the confidence that he enjoys, the influence that he has. Let's in fact also focus on this chat of 25th September 2019 when Mr. Dasgupta says, we'll talk when you get back. So there was more that they were going to discuss. He says, basically, some decisions being taken which can hurt. Hurt whom? He says, you guys. Okay, so some decision is going to be taken which is going to hurt you guys, which means Republic TV. He further goes on to say, most sitting there doesn't even understand it. He continues, says, hurt some. So he's talking about some sort of a damage that probably was going to be done to Republic TV. Arnab Goswami says, okay, most board members talking to me have focused on landing, which now there is a positive consensus on. TV 18 can't force its way anymore, so that's good. NBF is meeting PMO on invitation in a few days as a group, so you can let me know. So he's saying News 18 can't do it, and then he further emphasizes on the kind of influence that he holds and the kind of confidence that he enjoys. Let me in fact take this across to Mr. Sanjay Jha. You know, one would feel, Mr. Jha, that here is an insider talking about what really is going to happen, or at least you know, an unofficial government spokesperson. Doesn't he sound like that? He claims at least that way.
Yeah, clearly it is in his opinion a system that he can rig with blatant cool aplomb. There is no apprehension whatever. He believes that his word is going to be the final arbiter of the future course of the way, you know, decisions will be taken. Now, this smacks of one, clear, you know, arrogance. The second, he definitely has the confidence that the government will stand by whatever his recommendations are on people, on policies, etc., etc. I think what is tragic here is that it devalues the effort of so many journalists, you know, salespeople, you know, the people who work in media establishments under a lot of pressure, may I add, for you know, making the entities a success. Because when you have one individual with clearly a massive clout, you know, if he had access to Balakot and Article 370, trust me, that is coming from the highest sources in the government. Now, you know, you can't really write these WhatsApps, and I have reason to believe they will be proven true. You can't. This can't be storytelling. He's not a fiction writer. Arnab says all that because
while
I
he
think
may
he
or may
knows
not
what
be
he's
overstating his influence, the fact is that all of this is on record, and clearly all of this very clearly translates into an attempt to influence the ratings provider, in this particular case the BARC, into in fact leveraging or favors being given to one particular channel, that is Republic. Stay with us. We're going to continue reporting on the story. Time for a very quick break.